Hello everyone, and today we are going to continue with the second exercise of second chapter of class 8, and that is linear equations in one variable. So you have your question on the screen. The first one, it says that if you subtract 1 upon 2 from a number and multiply the result by 1 upon 2, you get 1 upon 8. What is the number? So in this problem we have to subtract 1 upon 2 from a number. So they have not told us what is the number, and that's why we are going to assume that let the number be x. So let's take 1 upon 2 from this. So x minus 1 upon 2, and the result, that means put a bracket, this result has to be multiplied with 1 upon 2, and then we get 1 upon 8. This is how you decode the entire word problem, like this. So now let us multiply 1 upon 2 with both the numbers by opening the bracket that you know already. 1 upon 2 into x is equal to, I can write this as 1 upon 2 into x, or I can directly write this as x upon 2 plus into minus plus positive into negative is negative. 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 2 will give me 1 upon 4 is equal to 1 upon 8. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll send this 1 upon 4 to the other side. So here it is minus, when it goes that side it will become plus. So what will remain on this side LHS is that x upon 2 will remain, and 1 upon 8 is already there on the RHS side, and this goes that side, so it is becoming plus 1 upon 4. So x upon 2 is equal to, now what we are going to do is this fraction we are going to basically add them, but before adding we have to make sure that the denominator is same. Now the denominator over here is 8 and the denominator over here is 4. So 8 and 4, if you find the LCM, you get the LCM as 8 itself. So basically I will multiply this by 2, and whatever you multiply to the denominator, you will have to multiply that to the numerator as well. So now this new fraction that I have, equivalent fraction, is 2 upon 8. Since I have the denominators equal or same, now I can write it once and then I'll add 1 plus 2. So what do I have here? I have x upon 2 is equal to 2 plus 1, or 1 plus 2 is 3, and that is upon 8 here. Now this 2 is getting divided by x, so when it goes on to the other side, that is RHS, it becomes multiplied. So x is equal to 3 upon 8 multiplied by 2. And I can cancel this out. 2 ones are 2, 2 fours are 8. So the answer that I have is 3 ones are 3 upon 4. So the answer for the first problem, first word problem of exercise 2.2 is x is equal to 3 upon 4. This is the value for x, and this is the solution of the given equation, and this is how you solve your problem. So I'll put up the second question on the screen for you. By the time I clear up my board, you can have a look at it and you can read that, and then I will be solving the second problem right away. So what does the second problem say? If you read very carefully, everything is there in the problem itself. Let's see what the problem is. The perimeter of a rectangular swimming pool is 154 meter. Its length is 2 meter more than twice its breadth. So its breadth is not given to us, but instead they have told what the length is. It is 2 more than twice its breadth. So what are the length and breadth of the pool? So what are the things that are given to us? We will write them first. What is given to us? Question number 2. Given we have perimeter of a rectangular swimming pool. Rectangular, very important. Very important. How much it is? It is 154 meter. Okay. So what is the perimeter of the rectangular swimming pool? It is 154. The figure is rectangle. That's what we come to know from this statement. Now they have given us that length is 2 more than twice the breadth. Okay. So before writing the length, I'll just write here that breadth is equal to x meters. Okay, I'll just assume this. Now after this what I'll do is I'll write down, according to the question this has been given to me, length is equal to twice, that means 2 times x and plus 2. If you read the statement, it says that it is 2 more, that means plus 2 more twice the breadth, and the breadth is x. So length is equal to 2x plus 2. Now let us put the formula for perimeter of a rectangle. All of us know that perimeter of a rectangle is equal to perimeter of a rectangle is equal to 2 times length plus breadth. Okay, so what is the perimeter? It is 154 and 2 will come as it is. Length we have as 2x plus 2 and breadth is x. Now let us solve this very quickly. Before opening the bracket, let me just solve whatever I can inside the bracket. So I have 2x plus x, it means 3x. You know that one apple and two apples together, if you take them, it becomes 3 apples. So same way 2x plus 1x together will be 3x if they are added. And we have plus 2 on this side. Nothing more can be simplified in the bracket. So what I'll do is I'll just open up the bracket. So 2 3s are 6, x will remain as it is, and 2 2s are 4. Now plus 4 will come this side and it will become minus 4, and I have here 6x. So after doing the subtraction, we have 150 is equal to 6x. Now if you look very carefully, what do I have here? I have 6 is getting multiplied by x onto the RHS. So when 6 will come this side, it will obviously become divide. So 150 upon x, 150 upon 6 is equal to x. Now you do the division and you will find out that if you divide this, you get 25 as the answer. Okay, you get 25 as the answer. So go back to the previous thing that you had done in the beginning, that is breadth is x meters. So now we got the value of x. So what I can say is that therefore the breadth of the rectangular swimming pool is 25 meters. Okay, I will continue this statement. And the length is, how much is the length? Just go back to the statement that you have written. Length is equal to 2x plus 2. Length is 2 into 25 plus 2, which is nothing but 50 plus 2 equal to 52 meters. And with this we have found out the length and breadth of the rectangular swimming pool as they have asked for in the question. So this is the answer of your exercise 2.2 question number 2 solution. Okay, so the length is 25 and the length is 52 and the breadth is 25 meters. Don't forget to put the units, they are very important. Third question on your screen right away. It says that the base of an isosceles triangle. It says that the base of an isosceles triangle is 1 upon or 4 upon 3. The perimeter of the triangle is 4 whole 2 upon 15. Just look at the problem very carefully. Everything is given in the problem itself. So if you understand the problem carefully, like 60% of the work is done. Only a few things are left that you need to finish up very quickly, and that happens as you practice the problem. So we'll read it again. It is given that the base of an isosceles triangle is 4 upon 3 centimeter. The perimeter of the triangle is 4 whole 2 upon 15 centimeter. what is the length of either of the remaining equal sides? So we have it over here. Let us just draw an isosceles triangle, and just to give you a quick reminder of what's an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle is a triangle which is having two sides equal, and the remaining side, the third side, is not equal to any of the two sides. So two equal side of a triangle, that this type of triangle is known as the isosceles triangle. So what is given in the question? It is given that the unequal side which is there is having the length as 4/3 centimeters. Is it okay? So let us assume that the length of each equal side is x centimeters. Let the length of each equal side be x centimeter. Okay, and what else is given in the problem? It is given that the perimeter of the triangle is, it is given that the perimeter of the triangle is equal to how much? 4 whole 2/15 centimeter. So basically, if you don't know any direct formula for the perimeter, so you can always find it by the concept that we have. What is a perimeter? Basically, perimeter means adding all the sides of a given shape. Yes or no? So here x plus 4/3 should give you this much. So I'll just write it down here. Perimeter is equal to x plus 4/3. And what is the perimeter? It is 4 whole 2/15. So 15 4s are 60. 60 plus 2 will give you 62/15 equal to x plus x will be 2x, okay, plus 4/3. So I'll just show you this on the screen here. Please have a look at what we have written. 62/15 is equal to 2x plus 4/3. Now if you look very closely, we are going to transfer this 4/3 onto the other side, that is LHS, because 2x will remain wherever it is, right? We have done this in exercise 2.1. If you have not seen the video, you can just check it out. So 62/15 will be here, and this plus will become minus, subtraction will be there. 4/3 is equal to 2x. Now if you go and find out the LCM of 15 and 3, we know that LCM is also 15. So we need to multiply this 3 by 5. Same thing will happen to the numerator as well. So we have here 62/15 minus 20/15 is equal to 2x. So now we have the denominator same, so I can write it only once, and I can do a subtraction of the numerators is equal to 2x. So 62 minus 20 will give me 42/15, which is equal to 2x. Now since this 2 and x are getting multiplied, when the 2 will be shifted onto the other side, it will obviously become divide. So let's continue with this. We have 42/15. I'll write it in a simple form. Divide by 2 is equal to x. I know that division of fractions can be done using the multiplicative inverse. So multiplied by 1/2, which is equal to x. So 2 ones are 2, and this will give me 21. So I can even subtract this from here. 3 5s are, and 3 7s are. So what do I have? 7 ones are 7, and 5 ones are 5 is equal to x. Please have a look here, all of you. The answer that we have here is value of x is equal to 7/5. So what was my x right in the beginning? It was the length of each equal side. I hope you people are understanding whatever is going on over here. So lastly, I will write the statement as per the question that they have asked. The question was, what is the length of either of the remaining equal sides? So the length of the two remaining equal sides is 7/5 centimeters each. So each side is 7/5 centimeters, and this is the solution of the third question from exercise 2.2. I hope you have understood this, and now let us go to the next problem, that is question number 4. As you can see on the screen, question number 4, it says that sum of two numbers is 95. If one exceeds the other by 15, find the numbers. So let us solve this problem. Before we begin, let us assume that the first number is x. Okay. Now if first number is x, then as per the question, the other number will be exceeding the first by 15. That is x plus 15. So let's write down here. Let the first number be x. Then the other number will be x plus 15 as per the question. Why as per the question? Because it is clearly said in the question that the second number exceeds the first number by 15. Exceeds means it is more. So plus 15. So let's go to the question again. It says that if one exceeds the other by 15, then what is the number? The first thing that they have said is, when you add the two numbers, the first number is x and the second number is x plus 15. When you add both of them, you get 95. This is what is said in the problem very clearly, right on the first sentence of it. So let us solve this. X plus x, one apple plus one more apple will give you two apples. Same way, x plus x will give you 2x, and plus 15 will come here as it is, and we have 95. Now let us send this addition of 15 to the other side, so it will become subtraction. So 2x is equal to 95 minus 15. So 2x is equal to, if you do 95 minus 15, you will get here 80. Now x is equal to, this 2 is getting multiplied with x, and so when it comes this side, it will become divide. So what do we have here? X is equal to 40. And what is my first number? My first number is x. So what's my first number? My first number is 40. And what is my second number? My second number is 40 plus 15, that is 55. So let me just write down over here. Therefore, the first number is 40, and the second number is 40 plus 15, which is equal to 55. You can also write the statement at the end after performing this operation before, that is 40 plus 15 is equal to 55, and at the end you can write that my numbers are 40 and 55. So this is how you solve the fourth question. Now we'll move on to the next question, that is question number 5. So question number 5 is there on your screen. It says that two numbers are in the ratio 5:3. If they differ by 18, what are the numbers? See, before we solve this problem, that any question which comes which is having a ratio thing, remember the first assumption will be, let the common multiple between the two number ratios be x, and then we will get the numbers separately. So what have they done here is that in question number 5, they have given us the ratio between the two numbers is how much? 5:3. So what we are going to assume? We are going to assume that let the common multiple between the ratios be x. So let the common multiple between the ratio be x. Very clearly, okay? So the number becomes 5x and 3x. So the numbers are 5x and 3x. This is how you do any ratio problem which is given to you. Now if they differ by 18 is said in the question. What do you mean by differ? Differ is subtraction basically. So if you look here, I have 5x and 3x. So obviously 5x is greater because there is 5 on this side, right? So differ means according to question 5x greater number minus the smaller number will give me 18. So let's solve this. 5 minus 3 will give you 2 and x will come as it is equal to 18. Now this both the numbers are getting multiplied with each other. So when the 2 will come on to the other side, it will become divide with the number which is already existing on the right hand side. So the answer of this is 9. Now the value of x is 9. Remember, value of x is 9 and we don't want the value of x. We want the two numbers as per the question. So the numbers are 5 into 9 which is equal to 45 and 3 into 9 that is 27. So this last thing is my answer. Remember, many of the students leave the question here. They feel that I have found of x and that's my answer, but no, the question says that we have to find the two numbers if you read the question very carefully. And this is the small solution of question number 5.